What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on this video we'll be doing the question paper that you see here. This is a national certificate for mathematics N3. This question paper was written on the 26th November 2025. It was an X paper which took 3 hours. So on this video we'll be focusing on question 4, and we already have done question 1, 2 and 3. If you want to watch those videos, you can click on the description and you'll be able to watch those questions. And also the very same playlist will pop up on the top right of the one that you're watching. Click on it to watch those questions. All right people, before we start though, I just like to say thank you very much for watching, subscribing to the channel, commenting, and not forgetting those who like and share the videos. So before we start with this question 4, I'd like to let you know that guys, I will leave the timestamps for each and every question on question 4, just in case you don't want to watch this question 4 in a sequence order. All right people, let's do question 4. All right guys, here is our question 4. Now question 4, we have figure 1 there and the statement on top there. Let's read the statement and then let's continue solving question 4. So the statement goes like this. Figure 1 shows a triangle ABC with vertices A, x is -3, y is 2, B, x is -2, y is -4, and C, x is 4 and y is 3. D, x and y is the midpoint of AC. Theta is the angle between A and B and the x-axis. So this is the information that we're given them. As you can see, these points that are talking about, they are there on figure 1. So I'm gonna create space here and do question 4.1. all right guys, here's our question 4.1 there. So I decided to do the question on the right hand side, right? And here's our figure there. So let's continue. Now 4.1, they want us to get the gradient of line AB. As you can see, let me highlight with the red color there. Line AB is this one here. There we go. So they want us to get the gradient of this line there. So what we need to do guys is to use this formula here, MAB, which is the gradient. We can do it like this. You can say YB minus YA divided by XB minus XA. Right, so this is the formula that we're going to use to calculate the gradient. You'll find it on the formula sheet there guys. So let's start. Remember here, our gradient AB, we know that YB is the y coordinate on the point B. So the y coordinate here, it's -4. So we're gonna write -4, right? And then minus YA. YA is the y coordinate on point A there. So we know that this is gonna be +2. Let us not forget we have negative there, right? And then XB is the x coordinate at point B, which is going to be -2. So it's going to be -2 there, minus XA. XA is the x coordinate here on the A point. So that's going to be -3 there. Then if you put this on a calculator, we'll be having -6 divided by, we have -2, and then so this here we're gonna have negative multiplied by -3. That's going to be +3. If you continue, this is going to be -6 divided by 1. So our gradient here is actually -6. So this one here guys, it's actually 2 marks. So it was not that difficult. What you needed to know is to know this formula here. All right, we are done with 4.1. Just in case you didn't understand how to do 4.1, you can leave a comment in the comment section, or you can watch at the point where you got lost. But if this video helped you to understand how to calculate the gradient, you can leave a like, a comment, also a subscription if you haven't subscribed. Okay guys, we are done with 4.1. Let's look at 4.2. all right guys, let's look at 4.2. Here's our 4.2 there. They want us to calculate the size of theta, which is the angle of inclination. Guys, the size of theta, they want us to find this one here. As you can see guys, this line is leaning towards the left hand side. So this means that our gradient is going to be negative. So we first need to find alpha, and then we find our theta. So in order for us to find alpha, it's very simple, guys. We need to use this formula. Tan alpha is equaling to gradient. There we can say gradient A B. There we go. So what we need to do is we find alpha, and then after that we're gonna find the angle. So let's do it. So we know that tan alpha is equaling to our gradient AB. We did it earlier. We know that this is going to be -6. Now there are two ways of doing this. You can include this negative or you can exclude it. Let's start by doing it when we include this -6. So first we have to find alpha, and then we take tan to the other side. It's going to become arctan. So this is how you write arctan there, -6. So if you put this on a calculator, it's going to become -80,538 degrees. This basically means that our angle is moving clockwise like this. So that negative means that, as you can see there, but we are not looking for alpha. Like I said, we are looking for theta. So in order for us to find theta, we need to do the following. We know that theta is going to be equaling to 180 minus 80,538 degrees. And this here, our theta is going to give us the following: 99,462 degrees. So here it's our angle of inclination. Another way of doing this, you can do the following. You can exclude the negative there, and then you write tan alpha is equaling to gradient AB. If we exclude the negative, we're gonna write it like this: alpha is equaling to arctan 6 instead of writing negative there. And then obviously this is gonna give us the angle 80,538 degrees. Then from there it's 180 minus 80,538, and then our angle is gonna be 99.462. right? Someone may ask, why are we subtracting with that 80,538? It is because our gradient is negative. So I hope you guys understand this. Really, this was not that difficult. It needed you to know the angles there. Just in case you didn't understand, you can always leave a comment in the comment section or rewatch at the point where you got lost. But if this helped you to understand, do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Right, people, let's continue and do 4.3. Alright guys, here's our question 4.3 there. So they want us to calculate the length of BC. Let's highlight BC first. So BC, here's our BC there, starting from here, going there. So this is the length of BC that they want us to find. So it's very simple, guys. There is a formula for that. Let me show you. For that, BC is equaling to, we can say root, right? Then we say xb minus xc. Then we square that, and then we say plus, and then we say open bracket yb minus yc, close bracket, square. Guys, make sure that you use this formula, because this formula, it's actually there on the formula sheet as well. So let's do it. So we have bc is equaling to root, open bracket. So for xb, we're gonna go to the x coordinate at the point B, which is gonna be -2. There we go. Minus this minus here, xc. Xc, we know that at point C, x is actually 4. So we put 4 there. Then let's not forget the square there, plus, and then you open the bracket. Now you look at yb. Yb is a y value at the point B, which is -4 there. So you're gonna have -4 minus this minus there. Do not forget. Now yc. Yc is a y value at the point C there, which is going to be +3. Then let's not forget square them. If you put this on a calculator, this is going to give us the root of 85, or you can change this into decimal and write 9,22 units. There we go. So this is how you solve this one, guys. This question was straightforward. Just in case again you didn't understand, you can leave a comment, guys, in the comment section, and I'll try to help you to my level best. But if you manage to understand this question, please do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Right, people, we are done with 4.3. Let's continue and do 4.4. All right, guys, here is our 4.4. So the question goes like this. They want us to calculate the coordinate of D, the midpoint of line segment AC. So they want us to find these coordinates here of D, the X and Y. We know that D is the midpoint of A and C. Again, when you calculate the midpoint, we have a formula for it. It goes like this. For the X value, we can say X for D is equaling to XA plus XC. All this is divided by 2. While for YD, we can say is equaling to YA plus YC divided by 2. This here, guys, is the formula to calculate the coordinate of the midpoint, right? So let's continue. We have XD there. XA, we must take the X value at the point A, which is going to be -3, and then XC, we have to take the X value at the point C there, which is 4 plus 4. All this is divided by 2, right? YD, in order for us to find YD, we have YA. YA is the Y value at the point A, which is going to be 2, and then plus YC. YC is the Y value at point C, which is 3 divided by 2. If you continue here, XD, we know that on the numerator we have -3 plus 4. That's going to give us 1 divided by 2. That is our coordinate for X. And then for Y, we know that on the numerator we're going to add this 2 plus 3. That's going to give us 5 divided by 2. So we can say point D, the X value is going to be half, while the Y value is going to be 5/2. There we go. So this here, guys, are the coordinates for point D. Guys, again, I hope you understood this. If you did not understand, leave the comment on the comment section. But before you do that, please make sure that you watch at the point that you get lost. And if that doesn't help, you can leave a comment in the comment section. But if this part of the video helped you to understand how to calculate the midpoint, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Guys, we are done with 4.4. Let's go and do 4.5. All right, guys, let's look at 4.5. Now the question goes like this. Calculate the equation of the line segment AB. Leave the answer in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. So basically here they want us to find the equation of a straight line AB. Now this is the line. Again, let me highlight very quickly. This is the line here that they are asking us to get the equation there. But if you still remember, from this line we managed to get the gradient. So we can say gradient AB is equal to -6. Now, in order for you to calculate the equation of a gradient, there is a formula that you need to use. Again, this formula, you'll find it on the formula sheet. It is given to you there. It goes like this. You have y minus y. Now you have to choose between a and b. I will choose the coordinate of a, which is equal to our gradient x minus xa. Again, be careful here. When you choose ya, you must choose xa as well there. So before we substitute, we know that point A from this one here, it's -3 to 2 there. So these values we're going to substitute on our formula there. Okay, so y minus ya here is going to be our 2. Our gradient, which is -6. We got this -6 from our first question when we were calculating the gradient of a and b. So you're going to write it there, -6, open bracket, we write x minus xa. We put our x value there, which is -3, close bracket, and then that's what we have. So we're going to continue. Our left hand side, we're going to rewrite it as it is, and then our right hand side also we're going to write this -6 there, and then open bracket, we multiply by x, but we have negative multiplied by -3. That is going to give us +3, and that is that. On the left hand side, we're just going to rewrite it as it is. On the right hand side, we remove the bracket by multiplying by this -6. This is going to give us -6x -18 there. Then from there we have to transpose this -2 to the right hand side. So we're going to be left with y there, and then we're going to have -6x minus 18. So when this negative 2 go to the right hand side becomes positive. Right, let's create a space a bit so that we can able to answer this. All right, so let's continue. Y is going to be equal to negative 6x. We have negative 18 plus 2, that's going to give us negative 16. So our answer for this one, guys, is going to be negative 6x minus 16. So this here is our answer. I hope you guys managed to understand this as well. Remember, here you can choose point B as well if you feel like it. If you choose point B, here is going to be YB and that is going to be XB. I hope you understood this, guys. The option, it's yours. Anyway, if you manage to understand, do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. If you didn't understand, go back to the point where you didn't understand, rewatch at that point, and if that doesn't help, you can always leave a comment in the comment section. Right, people, we are done with 4.5. let's do 4.6. all right, guys, here is our 4.6. they want us to calculate the equation of a line passing through point B which is perpendicular to AB. They want us to leave the answer in a form of y is equaling to mx plus c. Again, here they want us to calculate the equation of a straight line, but this one is perpendicular to AB and is passing through B. So when a line is perpendicular, guys, it means that that line is actually forming 90 degrees. So the line, it could be something that is like this here. There we go. And then what we have here, we're going to have 90 degrees. Remember, this line is passing at point B. Now they want us to find the equation of this line here. Right, so first of all, we know that our line is passing at point B. Let's write the coordinates of point B. We have -2 and -4. There we go. And then there's another rule that you need to know, guys. Again, this rule, you can find it on the formula sheet. It goes like this: when two lines are perpendicular to each other, this formula, it's applicable. You can say gradient of AB, which is the line that is perpendicular to our line. Let's call this line here Q, right? So you can say gradient of Q is equal to -1. There we go. Whenever two lines are perpendicular to each other, when you multiply their gradient, they must give you -1. This is the rule of straight line graphs, guys. Right, so we know that the gradient of AB, we calculated it earlier, which was -6. We're gonna substitute -6 there, multiply by MQ, the new line that is perpendicular to AB, which is gonna be equal to -1. So you just have to make the gradient of this new line, which is Q, the subject of the formula. What you have to do here, you divide by -6 and -6 this side as well. So this -6 and that -6, when they divide each other, they're gonna give you positive. Then you're gonna be left with MQ, and then -1 over -6, our gradient is gonna be equaling to 1 over 6. So this is our new gradient. So remember, our graph is passing at point B. So we have the gradient and we also have the point there. So we will have to apply the following information. Let me first create the space again. Here we go. We're gonna apply this formula here: y minus yb. This time around we put yb, which is equaling to m, our gradient, let's say mq there, and then open bracket, we have x minus xb. Again, the reason why we use xb this time around, our line that we are calculating for the equation is passing through b. Right, so from here we start substituting. We're gonna write y there, and then yb, we're gonna take the coordinate of y there, which is gonna be -4. There we go. Then we say equaling to, our gradient is 1 over 6, and then open bracket, we have x there minus, and then we take the coordinate of x, which is -2. We're gonna write as -2 there. There we go. And then we start removing the bracket. On the left hand side, we have negative multiplied by -4, that's going to be +4. This is going to be equaling to 1 over 6, and then open bracket, we have x, we have minus multiplied by -2, that's going to be +2. There we go. Then from there we have to remove the brackets. On the left hand side, we're going to continue y plus 4 And on the right hand side, we're going to multiply by 1 over 6 to remove the bracket. We're going to have 1 over 6x, and then we're going to have plus 2 over 6. There we go. If you continue, we're going to write on the left hand side as it is. We have y plus 4. This is going to be 1 over 6x, and then we know that 2 over 6, that is going to give us plus 1 over 3. There we go. And then from there we have to transpose this positive 4 on the right hand side, so we're going to be left with y is equaling to 1 over 6x plus 1 over 3 minus 4, because our 4 is going to change our sign. Now if you continue, our equation is going to be the following: 1 over 6x minus 11 over 3. So this here, guys, it's our equation for the straight line graph that is passing through B and which is perpendicular to AB. I hope you guys understand this, but just in case you didn't understand, you can go to the point where you did not understand, rewatch at that point, and if that doesn't help, you can leave a comment on the comment section. But if this helped you to understand how to find the equation of a straight line, you can always leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, like, and also share the video to your friends. Right, people, we are done with 4.6. Let's go and do the last question, which is 4.7. all right, guys, here's our last question, which is 4.7. so let me read the question. It goes like this: calculate the equation of a line passing through C. Here's our C there, and parallel to AB. Leave the answer in the form of y is equaling to mx plus c. Again, they want us to find the equation of a line which passes through C, but this line is different from the previous line there. That line is actually parallel to AB. So this one here is actually parallel to AB. If you can see, here's our AB there, right? So this line is passing at C, but it's parallel to AB. What you need to know about this, let's start by the point. We have the point there, which is C. We have 4 and 3 there. Our x is 4, now y is 3. Now something that you need to know about the parallel line is the following: when lines are parallel to each other, it means that their gradient are equal. So let's call this line P. There we go. So we can say gradient of AB is equaling to the gradient of new line, which is P there, right? So we calculated the gradient of AB earlier, so we know that the gradient of AB is -6. There we go, meaning our gradient for the new line, which is P, is gonna be -6. So we are fine there. Now we have to use the formula again. This formula, y minus yc is equaling to m, let's call it P there, open bracket, x minus xc. There we go. So this time around our point is this one here, which is C, so we can use this formula here. So when you continue, we have y minus yc, but yc is the y coordinate for C, so this is going to be 3 there. As you can see, we have 3 there, equaling to MP, or our gradient then, which is going to be -6, this one here. And then we open the bracket, we have x minus xc. This is our coordinate there, which is going to be 4. There we go. And then from there, we remove the bracket on the right hand side, but on the left hand side we keep writing y minus 3. And then when you remove the bracket, we multiply by -6 there, we're going to have -6x, and -6 multiplied by -4, that is going to give us +24. And then from there we have to transpose this -3 to the right hand side. We're going to be left with y there, and we have -6x plus 24 plus 3, because this 3 is going to become positive. So our final answer is going to be -6x plus 27. There we go. This is our equation of a line that is passing through C and which is parallel to AB. I hope you guys managed to understand how to do this one as well. Again, people, If this video helped you to understand how to get this question, do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Go to the point where you did not understand, rewatch from that point, and if that doesn't help, you can always leave a comment on the comment section. We are done with question 4 of this question paper, so we'll be doing question 5 very soon. So make sure that whenever you subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you can be notified every time when we upload a new video. All right guys, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, cheers.